already wrote for us. What's one more quote for us? Oh Lord, who else sounding like this? They ain't make
All right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but game one... Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses.
First NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, something's hard to believe. I'm ready. Now it's time for me to show everybody I belong. Do my best to represent Harlem.
Welcome, everybody, to the day we've all on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. It's all about the Eastern Conference. That's where the action is today as the Atlanta Hawks get ready to battle. And it's their first look at this year's Pistons. First official NBA playing time. We'll get to check out our first glimpse of professional basketball from Robinson.
You know, he's a great young player and even a better young man. So personally, I couldn't be happier for him. I know he's thinking about the game, but I hope he's able to take a moment to just enjoy this accomplishment.
Well said, and I hope so, too. I mean, as a player, you want to stay even-keeled, but it's almost impossible. I mean, there's just so much that you've gone through to reach this point. It has to be emotional.
On the court for the Pistons, Harris is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Jackson. Then there's Andre Drummond. And it's Meeks in at the shooting guard.
And Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year. Eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
Harris passes to Morris. 1:41 left to play in the first quarter. Drummond a screen, 6 on the shot clock. Jackson misses.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Pistons leading by 3. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. Lets a floater go. The offensive rebound. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And while we can, here's a look at the teams that had the fastest hands in the league last season. Number 5, the Hawks.
You could defense. They seem to have an endless reserve of energy flying around and pressuring the basketball.
Certainly the biggest surprise last year, Clark, was the play of the Atlanta Hawks. Few would have picked them. But
with solid team play.
Here's Robinson, the rim-rattling two-handed jam. And that's the very first basket right there, folks, of what is hopefully a very long and a very prosperous career from Robinson.
Yeah, and he's playing it cool right now, but let me tell you, I'm sure that basket means the world to him. There's nothing like the first one.
My thought is he's probably just happy to have it out of the way. I mean, no more waiting and wondering when it'll come. Those first points are finally in the rearview mirror.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship.
Well, Well, with Freak Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school when he could be on the NBA clock.
Here's Baines. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most. And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Andre Drummond's checked in for Aaron Baines. Morris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Jackson in for Reggie Bullock. Robinson, he's in at the point. Kent Bazemore is out there with Scott. Then there's Teague, and it's Splitter in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul. Pistons leading by 3.
And guys, you hear about how the Hawks are the jokingly referred to as the Spurs of the East. It has to do with their coach, Mike Budenholzer, who's really brought that philosophy here to Atlanta.
On for Coach Budenholzer, Greg. He did spend 19 years with the Spurs, so it makes a lot of sense. Clark, he won 4 titles during his time there in San Antonio.
And, Kevin, you can really see how he's adapted and brought the motion offense over to this team, and it's worked well for the Hawks.
Detroit with the rebound. There's 1:54 left to play here in the half. Jackson misses.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
From downtown, Robinson misses. The Pistons shooting 31% in the second. Some poor shot selection for them in this quarter. Johnson gets the bucket.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Robinson against Jackson. Teague dishes to Robinson. Andre Drummond grabs the miss.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
That pushes it to double digits. And now a 10-point Piston lead.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Robinson with it. Guarded now by Jackson. T kicks to Robinson. Looking to end the run. Shot is no good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for their next game. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Over in the corner, Meeks. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Wants to get it to Morris and does. Lays it up and banks it in. Morris has got 5 points so far.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more.
And so we wrap up the... And the third quarter about ready to get underway. And so it's the Pistons who come out on top here. They break.
Ugly.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan. Reggie Jackson. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention. And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new...